It's hosting season. And this hosting season, you could enter eligible New York Lottery draw game tickets with Collect and Win for a chance to win a $5,000 gift card to use at the Home Depot. So, enter today and make one of the most stressful times of the year a little easier.
The Home Depot is not a sponsor of this promotion. You must be 18 years or older to purchase a lottery ticket. You must be 21 or older to purchase a quick draw ticket where alcoholic beverages are served. Please play responsibly. Entered by 1/7/20.
Welcome to Dare a New Belief, a place to discover what is possible for your life after the loss of a loved one, and where you will find inspiration, insight, support, and love, and hopefully a bit of laughter to help you through your day. Now, here's your host, Nada Hogan.
Welcome to Dare a New Belief, where you will find light and love, life, love and joy, healing, faith, and hope. A place where you get to believe what is possible for your life. And today I have the great honor to be back with Pernille Halbro for part 2 of our conversation in Journey Through Cancer. And I just want to remind you who Pernille is. She is the owner and founder of Pernille Halbro, LLC. She is a certified transformational life coach, specializing in dream building and life mastery. She is also a certified EFT practitioner, otherwise known as tapping, and she is a Reiki master. Her journey as a healer started at a very young age, being an intuitive empath. In her early 40s, she realized her purpose always has been helping and supporting others, and she became a certified life coach with Mary Morrissey and Life Solutions. She uses tapping and Reiki to teach the body how to restore its natural balance of energy. She is passionate about empowering women going through challenging transitions, feeling confident, motivated, and alive through a vision-inspired life that they love living. Welcome back, Pernille, and thank you so much for being with me again.
Thank you so much for having me back. I'm so excited to be here.
Ha ha ha. I'm glad, because you're not as excited as I am, because I love your story. I love you, and I love your powerful story. So I want to remind the listeners where we left off. And if you missed part 2, or part 1, please go back and listen to that, because it's a wonderful introduction to Pernille's introduction to this journey where she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And now I want to dive into how it was you went from the United States with that diagnosis, and then you ended up in Denmark, because all of the procedures, the treatments for the cancer, all took place in Denmark. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes, I went first. I was diagnosed early July 3rd, 2018. And I already had scheduled to spend 6 weeks in Denmark on vacation with my children. So I didn't have time to get treated before I left. So the universe way was, I guess, to be sent over there. And I really wanted to try self-heal because I believe in it. So in Denmark, I was eating even healthier than I did over here. I was seeing a dear friend of mine, Kjell, who was doing healing on me also. And then I started doing therapy, which was MetaHealth, or through MetaHealth. And it's kind of Metacognitive therapy, I believe it's called also, where you go to the root cause of what causes cancer and where it's sitting in your body. And I did that intensely while I was there, biking and just really working on getting calmer, getting more centered, trying to work on my sleep and be more mindful. And I felt really great. I felt changes in my body, and also in the size of the tumor, especially through the healing. So I went back in August and was going to have a checkup to see where we were at. I wanted, for my own sake and for what I do as a healer also, to kind of document if it was working. And I had another ultrasound to follow up, and unfortunately it grew 2 millimeters on one side, which is not big in the sense of what type of cancer I had, but it was not reflecting how I felt. I felt great. So then everything started changing. Oh, and here's the gold nugget for Denmark. The trip there also was just before I was leaving for the U.S., as I was being healed, I went into this visualization of healing as we were trying to heal my body, and I started seeing all these images. And one images I ended up with was that's kind of above my belly, I guess. I start seeing this green field of grasses and just nature. And then I had this Danish flag, like on a big flag post, standing there. And first I thought it was kind of odd. And I'm like, well, yes, I am Danish of background. And then it dawned upon me, I think my healing journey is in Denmark. But I had to go back to the U.S. because my vacation was over. And there were many questions flying around, but I ended up going down to the government center in Denmark, and I enrolled in the Danish system in case I needed to come back for treatments. Okay. And that's what I did. And then I went back to the U.S., and then I had my my ultrasound and found out that it wasn't going the way I thought it was going to go. I thought it had shrunk. So then I started panicking. That I will admit. Then the warrior woman, she wasn't as strong as she was before, or determined. And then it was like, okay, now I don't feel like I can trust my body. I don't feel her as strong as I used to. I stopped sleeping. I stopped eating. And then I started feeling really bad. And I couldn't think straight. And I got tested in several ways. I had to do my taxes, and I also had to do the 100-question test for the American citizenship. So, but I knew at that point I had to go back. And the bills were coming in, and I could see that I could not afford to be treated here either, because they were already enormous, and that was only mammogram, biopsies, and ultrasound.
Right. Wow.
So I chose to go to Denmark. That was the next step.
Okay. So how long after you received a diagnosis of breast cancer was it before you went back? I know you were in Denmark, you came back to the United States, then you went back to Denmark, but how much time had passed in between? Where are we time-wise on this journey?
I was diagnosed on July 3rd, 2018, and I left the U.S. on September 12th, 2018.
Oh.
So about
so just
3 months.
A few months, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you're in Denmark.
Yes. So I came over there and enrolled in the system, went to see a doctor, and they have what's called a cancer care package. So within 2 weeks, you're enrolled in the system and will go for an appointment in the hospital. And that was a blessing, knowing I could come home to be with my family, be with my friends. I needed them to surround me. I needed to be with my family. And being nurtured by my mom's cooking and having a place to stay by my parents. My brother has gone with me to every appointment, and my cousin has been coaching me through my mindset of how to deal with everything. But I had, because we had to redo all the testing, there was the biopsy in the U.S. was not clear. And so we had to redo all the testing. And it turned out I had a pure triple negative. And then I started treatment with chemo. I had to go through everything because it went in my lymph nodes also. So I started chemo in October.
In October,
and
okay. And Pernille,
yeah,
I want to ask you, because I know somewhere along the line, I believe it was the doctor that was in the United States that had made it clear. So I know very little about breast cancer. I don't know what triple negative means. And I also I didn't know that the cancer could show up in two different places. It could be in milk ducts or in the granular tissue. And there's something important about where that cancer, and I'm deliberately not calling it yours because I never give ownership of that. It was just that thing that came in that taught us something and has moved on. So that cancer was in a certain tissue for you that meant something. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so through the lens of Meta Health, the principles are that our thinking can manifest things in our body. And in my case, it was in the milk ducts and spreading into the granular tissue. But it originated in the milk ducts, which was part of what was called separation in the way they're charting the body. And it was very true because I had gone through a separation, and we just finalized that spring our divorce. And it was not easy. It was, I'm on very good terms with my ex, and our divorce, we did a good job, both of us. So we divorced amicably and everything. But it doesn't mean that it's easy in our emotional body. And I had a lot of grief around it. So it was natural when I heard that it was separation, without him even know where it was in my body. I had to go back to the woman and ask her, where did it originate? Can you see that on my mammogram? And when he said, well, if it's in the milk ducts, it's separation. And just when he said it, I was like, oh my God, this is spot on. And I was so wowed that he just sat there, and that was the owner of Meta Health in Denmark. I was lucky to get on the phone that day. And when he explained it, it just all made sense to me. So that was a trauma I wanted to release. Yeah. And that trauma I worked on while I was in Denmark with tapping and TFT also.
Okay. Wow. I mean, because I totally am in agreement with that the body reflects what is happening in the mind. The body is just an expression of what is happening in the mind. And that is so fascinating because I didn't know those distinctions with the breast and breast cancer, and for you just to go through that divorce, that separation and that divorce, and just how enormously powerful that was to your body emotionally, how powerful the impact, the negative impact of that to your body. And I want to make sure that I'm clear on this. It says that you and your husband are ex-husband, amicable, right? You guys are okay now, still good friends, and
absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yes. No, I'm very proud about where we have landed. We have bi-weekly dinners together with our children and our dog. And and he's married and expecting, and I'm so happy for them. And we're both in a very good place. So absolutely.
I love it. Because, not holding on to resentment or anger or any of that stuff, I think it's beautiful. So, okay, because these calls go by way too fast, let's dive back in. So you're back in Denmark now. The natural route that you were so confident was going to work, and your body was telling you, I feel really good, everything is right on, and you get a result from the doctor that says that is not the case, which I'm sure had to have just, right? I mean, it just kind of pulls the rug out from underneath you, and it's a blow. It's just like a blow to the solar plexus where it takes our breath away. And so now you're in Denmark, and the next step in the treatment then is to do what?
The next step in the treatment was to do chemo. And that was the one thing I did not want.
Yeah.
But we learn over time that sometimes we have to do things that we don't want. And I knew once I had confirmed that it was in my lymph nodes, I felt there's no way around it. This is the way we have to go. And that got scheduled, and I was informed about all the side effects 2 days before. And I can say that is not enough time to get your head around it, to kind of emotionally be ready to what it can do to you. And it doesn't mean that all the side effects I'm mentioning is what's going to happen. But I was terrified, to say the least, to go in, because I have always been highly sensitive in my body. And I couldn't imagine what chemo was going to do to my body if I couldn't even take another pill and a regular pill you get from the doctor and be sick from it, what chemo would do to me. And but you do what you have to do. So even though I almost threw up in the parking lot heading into the hospital, I made it in with my brother by my side, and we looked at each other and we said, we're doing this. And it was very surreal to sit there and see the red juice run into my arm.
Oh, God bless
and
you.
And thinking about, how the heck did I get there? How did I get there in my life to sit where I'm at today and allowing this poison in my body? And that was the mindset I had at that time. It did change over time, because people are like, oh, all this poison you're feeling in your body, I can't imagine what it's like. And I was like, I had made a deal with myself, because I didn't want to go in. I didn't want to cry about it anymore. That I wanted, by Christmas, after 3 treatments, I wanted to be able to sit down, take the medicine, not poison, take the medicine and make it heal my body. And I did that.
Right. Yeah.
So I had 3 big ones where you lose your hair, you lose all body hair, and then you go into, I went into 9, some places to do another 3, a different kind. But that one goes for the nerves in your hands and your feet. So you're sitting with cold packs for them not to have impacts. I know some hospitals would do an ice pack on the head so you can keep more of your hair. I can't imagine what that feels like, since it was super duper cold on my hands and my feet for me not to lose the nails and whatnot. But a great tool. I can highly recommend it. And I had to ask for them, because I did not want it to happen. So I did it preventatively, where normally they will only give it to you once you have signs of neuropathy, I think it's called, where your nerves, you start not feeling, you're feeling numb in your fingers or your feet. Yeah. So I did it preventatively, and today I have feeling in all hands and fingers.
That's so beautiful. So that's, and then we went into radiation also. Even though I was completely clear, they found nothing when I had my lumpectomy. I had that on March 7th, 2019, after finishing chemotherapy, and they couldn't find anything. Even when they're trying to, they have to put a needle in to locate it, they couldn't find it. But I still have to do
I know. It was so exciting.
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
were like, well, it's precautionary. Let's give you a little radiation. And I would share that I was signed up for 30, 5 of them being a booster, which is directed to the breast. The other one is a little bigger to also cover the lymph nodes. And after 9 rounds, I decided to say that was enough for me.
Yeah.
Not exactly what some of the family thought was the right thing or the doctors, but I started having side effects that I did not want. Shoulder hurting, lump in my throat. I was getting raspy when I had to speak, and I felt it in my breath. So long story short, I listened to my body, and it told me no. I took one day at a time and listened every day and said, we can do one more. And then I said, it's enough. And today I feel great. I live a life inspired by what I would love. And I'm very happy. I feel healthy. I still exercise, especially to increase the circulation in both breasts, for that matter, in my lymphatic system, to make sure that nothing gets blocked there anymore.
Yeah. Wow. The best news, the absolute best news is that they can't find anything. And it's so, I don't know what it would feel like just to be screaming at the top of my lungs, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, and be done with that journey, that part of it. And now this next beautiful part of your journey, because you are back in the United States and a dual citizenship, right? You have dual citizenship now.
I just received my citizenship. Yeah. So I have dual citizenship. Very grateful.
Yes. And we're very grateful to have you over here in the United States too, because you are such a blessing. And so what can you share with the listeners is your, who are you now? What was the biggest lesson that you learned on this journey, Pernille?
Well, the biggest lesson I learned was to be me, to find out who I am and what I can do. And we can do so much more than we think we can.
Yes.
And if we choose the right mindset, it's amazing what we can attract to. I was reconnected with my family. I lived in the States for 22 years, but to go home for 9 months, it turned out, not 3 months, but 9 months, and to reconnect with my family, with my cousins, with my friends from business school, hang out with them when I was feeling okay or good, I will go there. I built community at the hospital with other breast cancer women, where we would go for walks and coffee and just support one another. It was so life-giving. And getting back to biking, I loved. Getting back, I used to do that as a child. So that was a gift. And now I have built a bike of my dreams over here so I can continue the ride.
I love it. Yeah. And a metaphor in such a beautiful way so you can continue the ride. So it's almost like that riding off into the sunset, right? Like what I have learned about myself and discovered about myself, and now I'm back. I've discovered this about riding bicycles and how much I love riding bicycles and the freedom that comes from those. And and you're back on the ride, and it just sounds like you are so back on in your life. And Pernille, you coach people, men and women, and you coach them. And this is one of your businesses. Everything you do is in the healing arts field, and coaching is one of those healing arts. So for people who are listening to this, who are either going through a physical struggle themselves, whether it happens to be breast cancer or some other kind of physical ailment, because you also incorporate emotional freedom technique, which is tapping and being a Reiki master. And I believe you can do Reiki long distance even, can't you? Isn't that a long distanceable thing?
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
Okay. So for the listeners, if they themselves are going through something, or they have a family member or a friend, and not only do you you talk the talk, but you walk the walk, right? I mean, you've been there. So what is the best way? Yes, because that's the best. We learn the best from the fire that we have been through. And what is the easiest way for listeners to get in touch with you if they would love to work with you and engage with your services?
Well, they're welcome to either check out my website, which is pernillehalbro.com, or they can also email me directly at info@pernillehalbro.com. And my name is spelled PERNILLEHALBRO. Perfect. And of course, that information will be on the website. So please don't worry if you're driving or in an area where you cannot write that information down. All of Pernille's information will be available in the show notes and on the website. So you will be able to get in touch with her. I have so many other questions that I have to ask you. And of course, we have run out of time. So I have a feeling somewhere down the road in the not too far away future, if you are willing, we will do this again, because I would love to have you on here again, Pernille, and just to find out more, because I adore you. I love you. I love your warriorness. I love your story. And I'm just so grateful for you being here with me today. Oh, it's been so much fun. I still love working with you too, Nada. And I'll be happy to come back anytime you want me to. Awesome. All right. Well, now it's recorded and everybody knows, so you can't back out ever. Oh. Thank you again for everything. It's been wonderful to be here. You're always so loving and kind to everyone. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you. Absolutely. I am grateful. Thank you. And to all of the listeners, I know that you took away grand wisdom from Pernille and her story and her journey back to really great health and living vitally and alive and engaging with life in a beautiful way. And I wish the same for you. And until next week, go out and enjoy and live your most epic life. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for spending time with us today. Please go to nadahogan.com for show notes and other information you can use right away. If you like what you heard here, please subscribe to our show and don't forget to rate and review right there on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you get your shows. And don't forget to tell your friends about it. We'll see you next week.
Hey, how many people are you expecting?
Relax, it's an open invite.
I think you're a few seats short. Yeah, like 14 seats.
You should enter your eligible New York lottery draw game tickets with Collect and Win. You could win a $5,000 gift card to use at the Home Depot and buy a bigger table to host.
Hopefully they also sell chairs.
The Home Depot is not a sponsor of this promotion. You must be 18 years or older to purchase a lottery ticket. You must be 21 or older to purchase a quick draw ticket where alcoholic beverages are served. Please play responsibly. Entered by 1-7-20.
It's hosting season. And this hosting season, you can enter eligible New York Lottery draw game tickets with Collect and Win for a chance to win a $5,000 gift card to use at the Home Depot. So, enter today and make one of the most stressful times of the year a little easier.
The Home Depot is not a sponsor of this promotion. You must be 18 years or older to purchase a lottery ticket. You must be 21 or older to purchase a quick draw ticket where alcoholic beverages are served. Please play responsibly. Entered by 1-7-20.